Hi everyone, it's Crystal, and today's video is going to be a video response to Sybil B here on YouTube. She's hosting a 2-die-4 giveaway, and all you have to do is make a video and just show her how you store your dies. So simple enough to do. She'll only take a couple minutes. But before I get into showing you guys how I store my dies, Sybil, I wanted to tell you, happy belated birthday. I really did want to participate in your birthday challenge, but life happened and I didn't have the time to do it, so I apologize, but I did want to tell you happy birthday. And second, I hope you have a very safe and easy move. Anytime you're moving is just terrible, and to put icing on top of the cake, you're moving through states, and that's even worse yet. So I am hoping that you have you make it there safe and sound, and everything transitions very easy for you. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and let me show you how I store my dies. So my little thin dies, I can't remember what they're called, but you know, those little thin ones, I store them over here. And my thicker steel ruled dies, I store over in a cupboard over here in my room that I have a whole bunch of stuff onto it. So what I'm going to do is pause this video over here real quick and go over here and show you guys those. Okay, over here in this cupboard here is where I store some of like my Cricut dies, or my Cricut cartridges, and also I store like my thicker steel ruled dies. I have one of the thin strip dies, and then I have 6 of the bigger, thicker dies. I used to have a lot more of those. Whoops, sorry guys. I don't have these on a tripod right now. But I used to have a lot more of those. But about a year after I got my Cricut, I decided to sell everything I had. And I sold all of my steel ruled dies and now I'm wishing I wouldn't have done that, but you know, it's too late now. So that's all the collection I have for my steel ruled dies. I'm very picky when I go to buy a thicker die because it takes up a lot of storage. So I always want to make sure that's something I'm definitely going to use. Okay, so let's get back over to my table and I'll show you my other storage. Okay, now that I'm back over here on my table, this is where I store my other thin dies. And I apologize about the lighting and everything. It's really late here. And Jason's trying to sleep and my dogs are carrying on. So I'm trying to be pretty quiet too, so. But I wanted to get this video done. Alright, so up here, I store a couple dies in their original packaging. And there's a reason behind that. So let me move you this way a little bit. Okay. So yeah, I stored 3 dies up there, and 2 of them are the Susan Garden dies from Sizzix. And the reason why I store them up there is because the dies are so tiny and little that it just makes sense to keep them in the original packaging. And the directions are in there too on how to make these little flowers. So that's what I do with those. And then the other die I leave up here is this treat bag die from Lifestyle Crafts. And I leave it in the original packaging. I use it a lot, but I leave it in the packaging because it is so flimsy and, you know, yeah. And it will be easy to lose, so by keeping it in the packaging, I just keep better control over where I have it. So then how I store the rest of my dies is just in this little container, and I just have them put in here. Like up top here is just some loose dies that I leave up there. And then in this drawer up here, I'll just show it to you guys. Oh, the glare's terrible, sorry. But yeah, I just leave them in the original packaging, and in here I throw them. So this is what works for me. I know it's like not the most organized, but it does really work for me. Down here I keep my Dynamics, and I keep some Simon Says stamps down here. And then in my middle shelf here is all of my paper tray ink dies. And I have a lot of paper tray ink dies. And the reason why I have so many paper tray ink dies is because they're, you know, these little dies are real cheap for them. I think it's like $3 or $5. And when you're buying a stamp set, to me it just makes sense just to buy the die to go with it, because I don't have to worry about fussy cutting it out or anything. But there's no really like organization. I just throw them in there, as you can see here. And then when I want to go use one, usually I'm using a stamp set, I'll just rummage through here real quick, pull the die out, and that's that. So I've seen there's so many great ways of storing your dies, but honestly none of them has worked for me. I've tried really, really hard with storing these dies, and nothing seems to work except for the system. The system's nice for me because it's out on my table. It's out on my table. It's easy for me to reach and access them. I don't have to go running around throughout my whole room looking for wherever I set my dies at. This is their home. That's where they stay. And it's very, very easy. So, a couple of my favorite dies would be this one here. This is the Decorative Dually Duo from Dynamics, and I really like this die. I use it quite a bit on layouts and cards and everything like that, so I use that one a good bit. That has to be one of my favorite ones, but my favorite one is the treat bag die from Lifestyle Crafts, and I do use this for little treat bags. But what I do with this, and I've done a video on this before, is when we go do different things in that, and I have different things that I want to scrapbook, I just put it in these little treat bags. I write the date on it, what the event was, what we did, what I want to remember, to make sure I scrapbook it. And then I stick it in my box where I put all my other stuff at, and then I have it for when I need it. So, well, it's like a dual use thing for me, but this is, I use that die a lot for these. So, that is how I store my dies, Sybil, and that is my favorite die. And yeah, so I want to thank you very, very much for hosting this giveaway for us and giving us a chance to win. And also, I want to thank, wish everybody else who's participating in this challenge good luck. And it's been really nice being able to see how a lot of these people are storing their dies. There are so many wonderful ideas, you know, but it's like for each its own. Something, just because one way works for one person doesn't mean it works for another. So, but some of these storage solutions have been really great. I've been tempted to try them, but I'm like, no, I'm just going to stick with what I got. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and Sybil, good luck on your move. I hope everything goes smooth, and until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.